Okay, I want to go over this thing with this. Jack Smith put out this brief to the judge about these supposed charges against Trump. Let's get one thing straight. This is not an indictment. These are not actual charges yet. Um, Basically, Jack Smith wrote out a briefing for the judge to look at, and the judge has to determine whether certain things can be charged against Trump or not, because the Supreme Court ruled some things he has immunity over. This has not been brought before a grand jury. Um, Basically, they just put this out so that people could see it before the election, which actually was not right of them to do. I don't know any prosecutor in the world that would put his entire case out on paper before it's even approved by the judge. They did this to sway public opinion and try to get an October surprise and try to get Trump not to get as many votes. If you notice, there's a lot of hearsay in there. There's a lot of other things. And none of this has been corroborated by a witness in court, has been proven. These are just allegations that Jack Smith himself, who we know is a Trump hater, has just written out on 165 pages to submit to the judge. Two of the cases that he has outlined in there, the Supreme Court has already ruled can't be brought. So that just goes to show you, and you'll still have to look at the timing of it. The day after the vice presidential debate, where Tim Walz basically got destroyed by J.D. Vance. Plus they have the hurricane that they're screwing up on and everything else. The Democrats are really, 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 really in trouble, and they know it. So these are last-ditch efforts to try to sway the election. Basically, election interference that is playing out right in front of your eyes. Like I said, a lot of stuff in there. I've read the entire thing. He said, she said, that said, this there. I mean, we've had the January 6 hearings, went on for a week. We've had witnesses. We've had books put out by Pence, by everybody else. There's nothing in here that we haven't already heard. There's really nothing in here criminal. This is all political and personal. Really, it's just, Trump, he told him to protest peacefully that day. And as far as the National Guard and everything else, Trump put the National Guard on alert and went to Nancy Pelosi and the Pentagon days on the 4th, 2 days before it happened. And the Pentagon turned down the National Guard help, and so did Nancy Pelosi. There's a lot of things in there. But basically, like I said, is he said, she said, none of this has been corroborated in court. No witnesses have come in before a court or a judge or a jury of Trump's peers. This is basically just a political hit piece. Jack Smith can be in a briefing, he can write down whatever he wants, accusations, whatever off the top of his head, and it doesn't really matter. It's just a briefing to get it in front of the judge, to then have the judge go through it and decide what's fact, what's fiction, what can't be admissible and what is admissible under the new Supreme Court law, and what Trump can actually be charged with. They knew that this was never going to get to trial before the election because of the Supreme Court. So if you look at the timeline, the election's in less than, 33 days from now? This is basically a political hit piece put out to make Trump look bad. And without substantiation of any of the evidence by a court or anybody else, This is all just Jack Smith spewing out whatever he thinks he can stick to Trump. Now we know that the Fannie Willis case in Georgia, they did all kinds of crazy shit there, and she's basically probably going to end up getting this barred. We know that in Florida the case got thrown out. We know now that the lawsuit in New York under Letitia James, that's basically going away too. Basically everything they've thrown at this man has gone away. They impeached him twice. The Russia hoax, which was put out by the Hillary Clinton campaign, we all know that now. They spent 3 years in impeachments and billions of taxpayer dollars on all this shit. You know, and then, you know, the impeachments, and then they even tried to assassinate him twice now. And we know that there's more threats out there, and who knows what's to come. But all I do know is this. The economy was 100% better under Trump. Sure, okay, you know, maybe you don't like the way he talks or what he tweets, but he got things done. And the economy was great. We were thriving. There were no wars anywhere in the world. When anybody did try anything, he said, try it and this is what will happen. And they knew better. Putin would have never invaded Ukraine. And Iran, they were broke. We had them under sanctions and everything else. Under Trump, they couldn't do anything. And then Biden came into office, and bam, what happens? Biden administration starts funding Iran. Now they're attacking Israel. And they're funding Hezbollah and everything else. You know, it's just ridiculous. You know, we were going to slowly pull out of Afghanistan. Biden comes in office, pulls everybody out, and boom, leaves $360 billion or $350 billion worth of equipment, tanks, guns, everything else, which now are in the hands of the terrorists. And they took back over the area, and they're funded by Iran now. So, I mean, really, you've got to look at all the things. Then you got Kamala. They basically kicked Joe out. She won't do any talking to the press unless it's hand-picked to where she knows that they'll feed her baby questions and everything else. Tim Walz, he's a mess. It's just, you have to look at everything that's going on. Like with the hurricane now. You know, Biden and Harris took all the money out of Fema and gave it to the illegal immigrants. And then they're sending all this money to billions of dollars to Iran, and now they're telling the people that they can give them $750 a piece. These people lost everything. And FEMA is down there stopping people from helping other people at the discretion of the government, Biden, Harris, and the rest of them. People can't fly drones over and look for people. You know, now you got, Trump goes down there, and him and Elon Musk, they got together, and they're getting Starlinks out to everybody so they can communicate and find their loved ones. So you have to look at the big picture here. It's just, our country is screwed right now because the last 3.5 years under Biden and Harris. Harris ain't going to be any better. As a matter of fact, she's even more progressive. So you really have to just sit back, look at the facts, look at the actual facts, not what you saw on some TikTok post or anything else. Use your head, go in, search for the real facts, and then make your own informed decision on who you need to vote for. It's just, it's a no-brainer. Kamala Harris can't run this country. She can't. It's just a fact. She can barely talk in an interview. You know, in the debates, you know, those are 3 against 1. I mean, it's just insane. We have to stop all this bullshit now get things taken care of. That's all there is to it. Well, I hope you have a good day. Thank you.